Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all ages, welcome to the second ever Brandon's World live YouTube show. Here we are, back here live, 11 a.m. Wednesday, September 5th. And as you guys can see by the title, we are going to have a lot of stuff going on today, including live fantasy football drafts. Now, I do apologize for being a little bit late today here at Kent State. Every other Wednesday, they actually, at 11 a.m., test the tornado, the tornado, I guess, siren, you could say. So that went off right at 11 o'clock, right as I was about to get on the air. So I decided to wait until it was all done so you guys didn't have to hear that noise. Now, also, as you guys could probably tell, I have a new headset. Yes, a new headset. I got it. It should be working fine. It should, of course, help the lag a little bit. I should also sound a little bit clearer as well, which is good news. So we're going to try to work with this. I can only have one USB plugged in at a time, unfortunately, on this computer. So I did also buy a webcam, but I think I prefer having the headphones in rather than the webcam. But it's up to you guys. So obviously the goal of today's show is to do live fantasy football drafts. We are going to try to do two of them. I'm not going to try to keep you guys super long today. First off, I'm going to show you guys my teams that I already drafted. Then we're going to get in, and if people are in, you guys can help me pick my team. That's basically the way this is going to work. So give me a few minutes to blow everything up, and I will be right back. Peace out, guys. For now. Okay, guys, so we should be back here. And as you guys can see, if you take a look at the screen, this is the first ever fantasy draft that I did. So we're going to go over this, and then obviously we have people in live. As I said, we're going to get into a live draft, and then you guys can help me pick my team. So here we go. You take a look at my team that I first drafted. I have three teams that I drafted. I drafted Matt Ryan, Lamar Miller, Royce Freeman, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, Zach Ertz, Tyreek Hill, Eagles defense, and Justin Tucker. As well as on my bench, I did draft Carson Wentz before Matt Ryan. Obviously, Wentz isn't playing, so I benched him. I have Michael Crabtree on the bench. I have Devontae Booker, Marlon Mack, Kyle Rudolph, Carlos Hyde, and Matt Breida. As you can see, I have both Broncos running backs in case one decides to get, more nods over the other. That's why I drafted them both. I drafted this team back in July. So, keep that in mind. And if there's any changes you guys want me to make to this team, go ahead and put it down below. But that's the team. I think it's going to be a pretty solid team. Let's take a look at my opponent for this week in this league. We have. Okay, so this guy has Kirk Cousins. He has Le'Veon Bell, who may or may not play. We don't know yet, of course. Devontae Freeman, A.J. Green, Brandon Cooks, Charles Clay, J.J. Broncos defense, and Adam Vinatieri. You can see we are projected to lose by 1.7. But obviously, if Bell doesn't play, that changes things. You can see, I think our team overall is pretty solid. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but we will see. As let's go into my next team I drafted. That would be this team, the Fly Eagles Fly team. And that team was the boss team, was auto-generated. I have like 4 teams that are auto-generated because I missed the draft. So I'm just checking my teams that I drafted myself. As we have Tom Brady, Tom Gurley, LaShawn McCoy, Jarvis Landry, Michael Crabtree, Gronk, Devontae Booker again, Rams defense, and Stephen Katakowski. I really like this team. You guys can see I went Patriots heavy a little bit, but I really like this team and the way it's built. On the bench, I have Mark Ingram, so I have 3 pretty good backs. Sammy Watkins, Peyton Barber, Calvin Ridley, Jack Doyle, Cortland Sutton, and Alex Smith as a backup quarterback. I always like to get a backup quarterback, in case somebody goes down. That's just the way I'm wired, but I really like the bench on this team. This might be the best team I have. This is a really good team, I feel like. As we go to the preview here, we'll see who I'm facing in this matchup. So we are projected to win by 5.5. This guy's got Tyrod Taylor, Dion Lewis, James Conner. That was smart by him to pick him up. A.J. Green we're facing again, Devontae Adams, Zach Ertz, who is, of course, on my own team, Allen Robinson, Ravens defense, and Adam Vinatieri. This team is okay. I feel like for the most part, in every single category, besides maybe receivers, we have the advantage, it looks like. And defense. It looks like receivers and defense is the only advantage that he has. I didn't go real receiver heavy on this one, but I thought I got decent receivers. I went really a lot of running back heavy. As you can see, he's got a lot of injuries on his team. Unlike ours, we just have an injury and a suspension. So let me go back to the fantasy football home here. And let me dive in here to this team that I named Team Lou Wins. And you guys will take a look at it. That's the 3rd team I drafted. All these other teams like Team Lou was the boss. And, Team Ball Boy, Team Brandon the boss, and Team Lou was the boss down there. Those were all auto-drafted because I tried to get out of the league in time and I couldn't do it, unfortunately. So, that's that. But here's the other team I drafted. You can see some similar players. I got Tom Brady, Todd Gurley, Devontae Freeman, A.J. Green, Pierre Garçon, Kyle Rudolph, Lamar Miller, Steelers defense, and Chris Boswell. I also have Josh Gordon on the bench. Maybe I should put him over Garçon. I'm not sure. I have Gordon. I have Jeffrey, who's obviously hurt, Cooper Kupp, Isaiah Crowell, Sterling Shepard, Trey Burton, and Jared Goff. So this team isn't that bad either. Everybody on this team, pretty much besides Freeman and Gurley, play at 1 o'clock. So most of this team's going to get to play early. Unless I make changes. But yeah, you guys can let me know if there's any changes I need to make down below to any of these teams before we start drafting. And this guy is projected to beat us by 6. Wait. We're projected to have 120. We're projected to beat this guy by 16. Wow. This is a high-scoring league. As you can see, our team. This guy's got Ben, Sony Michel, Ronald Jones, Julio Odell, Kelsey Bowen, Saints defense, and Robbie Gould. Okay. This guy's team's pretty good. Not going to lie, the team's pretty good. Looks like we have I thought we had the advantage. Let's see. We have the advantage in quarterback, in running backs. We have the advantage at receiver 2. He has an advantage at tight end and receiver 1. and then we have advantages all across the board except for kicker. He has a little more of an advantage, but I thought the team looks pretty well. Not gonna lie. I think all three of these teams I drafted this year look pretty well. I drafted some of the same players in obvious leagues, but we're gonna go to draft the team now here, guys. And this we are going to begin to do our first fantasy draft of the show. So please listen live if you are here. Please, please, please listen. For every pick, I'm going to see if anybody joined the show, if anybody wants to have input on who we draft. As I know in like 10-team leagues, so we're going to look at this league here. We're going to do one standard, one PPR, I feel like. And let's see. We have a PPR standard, but I'm looking for, is there a way to search? No. I'm looking for a snake draft. I know that. Looking for a snake. Let's see. Snake, standard, 11:30. Nobody has joined yet, but we're going to go in and be the first one in. We have 15 minutes till this draft, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to probably get off the screen. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get off the screen, and then we will be back in 15 minutes with the draft. Meanwhile, I'm going to talk about some things. And let me go and join the league real quick. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and talk some things. Maybe talk some football. You know, the Indians won last night, which is always good. What should we name our team? I think this first one should just be named Brandon's World. We might do one where, one where we take it seriously and one where we don't. We'll see. And this will be Team BW. There we go. BRAN. Let's do the BRAN for my name. There we go. We are submitting it. And we are in. We are the first team in this one. So we are in the East Division. Keep that in mind. But yeah, the Indians won last night. They did end up defeating the it's out of my ear. There we go. We ended up defeating the Royals by a final, I believe, 9-2. Very impressive win for the Indians. Obviously, after coming out that loss on Labor Day, it's not bad. I feel like that we could play a lot better, and we'll see where we go from here. Let me adjust my microphone. There we go. But yeah, basically, guys, we're just sitting here waiting for people to join. And you know what? While we wait, I've just had a brilliant idea. We're gonna go ahead and take some calls. So you can go ahead and join because we have nothing else to do. You can go ahead and join. I'm gonna put the link down below. Go ahead and join. We'll take some calls till 11:30. Go ahead and put the link down below. All right, guys, go ahead and join. We'll take some calls till like 11:25, and then we'll get in and start the show here. Okay. Let's see here. We get everything tweeted out and stuff like that. Google Hangouts is so laggy. I think it's part of my computer too. Like, I think my computer's really struggling. I'm gonna go ahead and post it on both my accounts, my main and the actual Twitter account. So again, I will be taking calls till about 11:30. I'm also going to be writing my picks against the spread article today, so we'll have that up on bsr.com. As well as I'm doing a fantasy picks contest. well, not fantasy, a NFL picks contest. And what you guys can do is submit my picks. I announced on Twitter yesterday. You guys can submit my picks and submit it, but you got to get every single one right, or otherwise you will not win a prize, and the prize will be deemed by you guys. I am misspeaking a lot today. Because we are taking calls till 11:30, and then at 11:30 I will delete the link. And if you join in after 11:30, I'm obviously going to bar you. But yeah, let's get in here. Let's have some fun until 11:30 until we do a fantasy football draft. So see if people join, stuff like that. Okay, we have the whole week filled up. So the whole week is filled up, guys. This will start at 11:30. So you have 8 minutes to get your calls in. And by the way, after the first draft, we will take another break. I wonder if you guys hear the clicking of my mouse. So again, guys, yes, indeed, you may join the show at any time. If you're the first person in, you do not have to mute your microphone. You can just come in. I'm really excited for this fantasy draft, though, guys. Honestly, I'm getting set. I want to hear from you guys. And we're going to get this show rocking and rolling. But again, this is something that no other radio show can do. It's something only we can do on YouTube, which is very important. I thought the first show, by the way, guys, went really well. Once again, this is brought to you by Aquafina Water. It tastes so good. Yeah, though, I thought the first show went really well. I appreciate everybody that joined. I appreciate Luke Silka that came on. And, no show Friday, as I already mentioned. And as I already mentioned, you guys can send me your picks in the DM. We'll keep track of picks. And if you get every single pick right for week 1, you will get a prize. And then we will keep track of pick standings overall. And at the end of the year, whoever has the best picks will get a prize as well. So there's 2 prizes on the line, 4 picks. Again, we'll keep track of your right and wrong picks, but in order for you to get a weekly prize, you have to get every single pick right. It's like a big extra credit thing in a class. Think about it. I just don't hand out extra credit. If I'm a teacher, you have to earn it. And the way you earn it is, a lot of people are going to get 10 to 11 games right? The way you earn it is by getting every single game right, the way I look at it. And I've never gotten every single game right in a week. I've been this close. I've gotten one wrong a couple of times, but that is no excuse. You have to come out and, earn your keep. Basically, you should earn the extra credit, and the way you earn it is by getting every single pick right. Again, earn it. 5 minutes of the draft. 5 minutes of the draft. 5 minutes. Again, at 11:29, I will stop this segment. We will delete the link. We will join right up in here, and we will do this draft. I think after this draft, we will go ahead and take a break, and then we'll see where we are time wise. If we have time for 2 drafts, I thought we would, but who knows? Depending on time length, depending on how long these guys take, depending on how long the first draft is. Because I want to try to get you guys out of here early today, and I want to get me out of here early, eat some lunch, and then write the article. So that's the plan today. It is a YouTube show, so not everything is all great in the world. But that is the goal, is to do at least 1 draft. I believe we'll have time for 2. I'm not sure, but we'll see. As again, guys, this took like all but 2 minutes to fill up, so that's why I chose one for 11:30. 3 minutes of the draft. I don't think we're gonna get any phone calls, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down right now. And to be honest, I don't know if anybody's watching right now. And if that's the case, we're just gonna go ahead and make my own picks. I'm gonna go ahead and delete the tweets so that you guys cannot join the hangout anymore. And then I'm gonna go ahead and screen share screens, and we're gonna get this thing started. Again, I'm not really gonna be talking sports today. I mentioned the Indians won last night. That's about it. This show today is not about not about sports at all. It is about fantasy football. We're not gonna go over highlights. We're not gonna go over MLB standings. This is about, fantasy football. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get started in here. Here we go. Go ahead and screen share. Go ahead and get the application window open. Here we go. You guys are looking live at the league. We're going to get this thing started. And here we go. I'm excited, guys. I'm actually really excited to do this. My 4th fantasy team of the year. Hopefully we get a good pick, because as I said, time is of the essence here. We only have till 1 o'clock. Normally we only have till 12:45. But go ahead and set your picks down below. As I mentioned, go ahead and put your picks. And I will put them in a document and we'll keep track. Monday's going to be a huge show. We're going to try to have some guests on. We're going to talk a lot of WWE. We're going to talk a lot of football. We're going to talk a lot about baseball. Talk a lot about everything. So Monday is going to be a huge show. You will not want to miss Monday's show. I'm telling you that right now. Here we go. 12 seconds, baby. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to go ahead and launch the draft. And this is the part of the show that gets interesting. Here we go. So if you missed the first half hour of the show today, again, no big deal. Again, all the links to my Twitter, my YouTube, the show's Twitter, this channel, everything down below. We have pick 10. Okay, so we're going to have back-to-back picks, though, but we have the last pick. Ugh. That's not good. It's not good at all. It looks like Odell Beckham Jr. and Kareem Hunt are going to be our targets. There anybody else? I maybe prefer. I'm hoping Julio Jones slips. And I'm honestly looking at Leonard Fournette for Jacksonville. I don't know how many touches Devin Cook's going to get. Also, Melvin Gordon. I'm trying to draft different players too. That's important to note. As we have 130 left to go in the draft. I'm going to see if anybody joined. No. We're going to get in here. We are going to draft. And let's do this. Let's do this. And get into my mindset here. Live fantasy draft. Again, guys, if you join, this turns into your team. Just letting you know. $18 seconds to draft, guys. I have a feeling Le'Veon Bell or Todd Gurley's going number one. Like I said, in that one draft, I picked Todd over Le'Veon because, I don't trust Le'Veon. Here we go. Who is going to be the first pick? Team 3. I don't even think he's in the draft. Doesn't look like it. So we will sit here for another minute, and we will see that Le'Veon Bell we picked number 1 overall. See, it's Team 8 in the draft. Team 8's not in the draft. It looks like so far we have 1, 2, 3. Maybe we have 4 people in at best. So these might be auto drafted. So we might end up getting, if we're lucky, a Julio or a DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to try to go for people that I haven't drafted already in another league if it's smart and at the right time. Basically, is what I'm going to try to say. And again, when you guys join, it's your team. It's your team. So I'm going to check back at pick 10, see if anybody is in. So Le'Veon Bell is a member of Team 3. Okay, we know that. Team 6, I don't think is in, so Todd Gurley's going to go. Team 4 is already auto. Okay, that's good. That's good. We already have an auto. We had every single person that, okay, he's drafting. Okay, they're drafting. They got David Johnson. First 3, I believe, went in order. They did, yep. First 3 went in order. So at this pace, we're taking Odell. Or we could look at another receiver. We could look at Keenan Allen. or an AJ Green, who we already drafted, or we can get both backs. We can get 2 backs in a row. We can get Fournette and Gordon if worse came to worse. Take a look at I don't want to highlight him. And where we picking next? We'd probably be in the Stephon Diggs range, Tyreek Hill range. I mean, that's not bad. There's a lot of receivers down in this range. Not a ton of backs I like, so just gotta think about that. As you're drafting on the board, do we prioritize receivers or do we prioritize running backs? My goal, I always say, is prioritize running backs and receivers, mostly running backs, because as soon as they're gone, they're gone. But receivers, you can get them late in the draft. They may not help you right away, but down the road, they can help you in trade pieces or waiver wire claims. That's what I look at. And that's that. As Ezekiel Elliott will be a member of Team 7. Shelley as a decision, and here, wow, they take Tom Brady. Okay. That's a reach. That's a reach. But if this board stays true to form, we're going to have Julio Jones. We're going to have Julio Jones and DeAndre if this board stays to form. But again, these are great receivers at the top, but I'll go to the running backs. I think if somebody please pass on Alvin Kamara. I think we're going to take a chance and go DeAndre Hopkins, what I'm thinking. But again, if we'll see what you guys think. Take a look at the battery life on the computer. We may have to plug it in. It's at 47%, but probably will last for this draft, depending on how slow or fast they go. If not, I can plug it in. It's right here. So we know that AB will be a member of Shelley C. Does he take Saquon Barkley? Saquon Barkley, yes, he does. Does he take Kamara? Then we have a decision to make. If he doesn't take Kamara, I think we'll take him. By the way, guys, this episode is not going to be uploaded on SoundCloud. I decided because it's mostly, a YouTube stream today, so that's why we're doing this. It's something different. Looks like Team 2 is auto. So, it is auto. So, we know Alvin Kamara will be a member. So, we have a choice, guys, between a lot of good receivers. Julio, DeAndre Hopkins, Odell, Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook, Keenan Allen, Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon, Michael Thomas. We have a choice, guys, as we have nobody in, which means I have my choice. We have back-to-back picks, right? Mm-hmm. Let's. Do we get a receiver and a running back? I think we're gonna go. Okay, Kamara's off the board. I'm thinking Hopkins and Fournette is honestly what I'm thinking. Oh, Julio was taken. Okay, so we were before them. Okay, so now we have to take Hopkins because Julio was taken. We'll take DeAndre Hopkins. And now we have to choose, do we take Odell? Do we take Kareem Hunt? Do we take Fournette or Melvin Gordon? In my opinion, I am going to take Leonard Fournette. I'm going out on a limb here. I'm going to take the Jacksonville stud running back. I think we're going to take Leonard Fournette. There we go. And then we have a couple auto picks coming up here. So we have a lot of auto picks coming up. So we should know where we stand by the time we get to our next pick. So I like that. So we're up in 18 picks. So round number 28, which is T.Y. Hilton. He could be our second receiver. And a guy like a Zach Ertz. Kareem Hunt, Odell Beckham off the board. Okay. I think that should be our target, guys. Melvin Gordon and Dalvin Cook are off the board. Okay. There's also possibly a Jordan Howard in that range. As a back, maybe we go Jordan Howard and T.Y. Hilton. I think, stack our running backs and receivers. I don't think that would look too bad at all. It sucks when you're the last pick because, yes, you have back-to-back picks, but you definitely have to strategize because you're so far away from the picks. And I consider myself not a fantasy expert, but I consider myself pretty well-versed in fantasy. For the most part, I make the playoffs, and either I get destroyed or I get close to the championship. I've won one fantasy football championship in my life. I've been in 2 fantasy football championships in my life. I made the decision last year because I thought Juju Smith-Schuster, Christian McCaffrey was taken. Michael Thomas was taken. AJ Green is the next available. As we are still sitting here, we are 11 picks away. So are we still on target? We're still on target to get T.Y. Hilton. Aaron Rodgers was taken. We could get Jordan Howard. So two quarterbacks have been taken off the board. This is the earliest I've seen the quarterbacks taken off the board. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Gronk. So we are in line to get Jordan Howard here. Mike Evans. Shady. Okay. We could get Jordan Howard and T.Y. Hilton, guys. That is where I'm leaning right now. It's Jordan Howard and T.Y. Hilton. Because the rest of these players I already have. And again, I want a team where I have different players. Doug Baldwin, Travis Kelce, and Howard was taken. So, okay. Do we go with Joe Mixon from the Bengals? Let's see if we have anybody in here. We do not. Okay. So it's my decision again. It disappoints me that you guys don't want to show up, but it is what it is. Ooh, Mixon and Fournette have the same bye. We have to look at that as important. So let's go ahead and take T.Y. Hilton. I think T.Y. Hilton's a good safe pick. And now we got to take a look at a running back. Because I don't want 2 backs on the same bye. Don't love Kenyon Drake. I think we go. J.J. is on the same bye as Fournette, too. I actually think we could get. Do we trust Alex Collins? We could get Royce Freeman in the next round. I don't like the Dolphins at all. Let's go and take a look at the all positions here. See what we can get down the line. I think Zach Ertz might be the pick here. I think Ertz is going to have a big year. I think a week 9 bye, but we got to pass on Joe Mixon because he has the same bye week. Do we use a roster spot for 2 backs? I don't think so. I think that week 9 bye is going to kill us either way. So let's kill it with a position that we need. Let's kill it with Zach Ertz. It was a long debate between whether we take Joe Mixon, but because of our running back situation, that's why we didn't. We're on the clock in 16 picks. You take a look at that. That's like pick 43. That would be a guy like Brandon Cooks, or a guy like Royce Freeman, or a J.H.I. who also has a week 9 bye, which sucks. See, backs are flying off the board now. Or we could go with a guy like Alfred Morris. Maybe we take a steal on Alfred Morris. Maybe we say, you know what, he's going to be the bell cow. J.J. was just taken, so we don't have to worry about that. Josh Gordon was taken. We're on the clock in 5 picks, so this is flying by. Royce Freeman still has not been taken. He's going to be our main target. Jeffrey Landry. Surprisingly, we took Alshon Jeffrey that early. I don't think Royce Freeman's going to be available. I'm going to be completely honest. I just don't see it. So we're going to have to look at a running back like Alex Collins, because I don't think Derrick Henry's going to get the bulk. I think they're going to share. And, okay, if he doesn't take Royce Freeman, then we can... And he doesn't. He takes Brandon Cooks. I think we're going to roll with Royce Freeman. I think he's clearly the best back available. I think we got to go to. There we go. We made a pick. Now we have back-to-back picks. And who do we want for our flex is basically a decision here. Or do we go with Mark Ingram? Ingram had a big year last year. Do we trust him when he gets back? This is a tough decision here. Or do we go with a wild card, like an Alfred Morris? Take a look at down the line. Who's down the line? We got some receivers and quarterbacks down the line. I think the decision here is running back. Let's see if any of you joined. Decision here is definitely running back. The question is which one? Let's see what they say about Dion Lewis. Looks like Dion Lewis might be a better option than Derrick Henry. What do we do? Decision time. Screw it, we're going with Alex Collins. We're going to put him in our flex for now. We could have picked Rex Burkhead, but I don't trust New England players. Again, we're going with different players that we haven't added for the most part in the past. We have Ertz on another team, but that's basically not a choice. I like the pick there. I think I like Alex Collins as a flex. Did not want to pick Mark Ingram again, to be honest. Do not like any of the receivers that are right there on the board personally. We're up in 14 picks, so you figure that'd be like pick 63, which you realistically would have been Greg Olsen. But we're looking down at that Sammy Watkins, Robbie Anderson, Pierre Garcon, Carlos Hyde range. I think we definitely need to take a quarterback. See, there's Wentz, Watson, and Wilson all in that range. I think we're going to take the quarterback next round. It just matters on who. I think Russell Wilson's going to be a very good fantasy quarterback. Also, you look at a guy like Deshaun Watson. So I think it's between those three. At the quarterback position, I think we got mostly everything else set. We got 3 running backs so far, which I like that we went running back heavy again. I think that's important. We're already in round 7, so this draft's moving pretty quick. We're on the clock in 3 picks. Which, wow, you figure we're right at Alfred Morris, who's as a bye in week 11. Is it worth picking him up? That's the question. Is it worth picking up Alfred Morris and taking a flyer on him? I would say why not? If this is where he's ranked and he's right there, why not? because AP was just taken right there. There's some good, decent running backs and receivers here. Carlos Hyde as well. Got Jordan Edelman down there. After that, the running backs really fall off. So, whatever running back we want, in my opinion, we definitely have to draft. If we want 4 backs, my opinion, take a flyer on Alford. Maybe see if we can trade him for another receiver. Emmanuel Sanders, we're on the clock next. So if they don't take Alfred Morris, we are taking him. I've decided. And they took the Jaguars defense. Wow. So I think Alfred Morris, we're going to go ahead and take. We're going to go ahead and take the back. We have 4 backs on our roster. Our backs are loaded. And now the decision here is going to be quarterback. And in my opinion, I think based off team success, I think Deshaun Watson is going to be our quarterback. So we got Deshaun Watson as our fantasy quarterback this year. We have a Watson-Hopkins connection, which is really nice. I love that, by the way. And I love that we have 4 backs as well already. I don't think we need to draft another back for the rest of the draft. Because we're up in 16 picks. I figure that would be pick like 78 down there. We could get Will Fuller. We could take a flyer on Julian Edelman or a Cooper Kupp or a Sterling Shepard. I think if we're going based off ratings, I think we're going to look at Kupp, Edelman, or Shepard. I'm not even going to check back, guys. I'm kind of disappointed in you guys. Tweeted it out. I asked some people if they were going to watch the show. They said, yeah, I understand you guys get busy, but I want to see that team that drafted Tom Brady. Wasn't that team Shall see? No. What team drafted Tom Brady? I'm not even looking at the board right now. I'm mostly looking at... Okay, that team's not that bad. Okay, they're not the team that took Tom Brady. So it was Drew Brees and the Jaguars defense, okay? There we go. That team is not very good. I don't think that team's very good compared to ours. Just being completely honest. Someone took a kicker. Someone actually took Greg Zuerlein. Oh my goodness. We're on the clock in 12 picks, so you figure that would be like pick 79. So we're around that range. We got to decide, do we take a flyer on Julian Edelman at receiver? His bye week is week 11, which would help us. He'll be healthy when we need, when T.Y. Hilton and DeAndre Hopkins are on byes. I think Julian Edelman, I've never had him in fantasy personally. I think it'd be nice to have. I think down the line here, I think these are guys that you take a flyer on. A guy like Nelson Agholor who could have a big game. Maybe we draft him. Also got another running back that I really think is going to have a big year in Carlos Hyde. So, got some good backs here like Peyton Barber and... Okay, Wentz is gone. I think the decision... Oh, Edelman was taken. Sammy Watkins was taken. I think the decision's going to almost be made for us. We're up in 7 picks. If nobody takes Will Fuller, I'm considering taking Will Fuller. Hyde is taken. Chris Carson's taken. We're on the clock on 1 pick. Because we could have... Okay, they took Jordan Reed. We're going to take Will Fuller because we can have that connection. The Watson, Hopkins, and Fuller connection. So we're going Texans here. We could have the connection, guys. Could have that connection. So based on the board, it's probably Cooper Kupp, Sterling Shepard, or Peyton Barber. Do we take a flyer on a guy like Nelson Agholor? It's the question. I don't think any of these guys are worth taking a flyer on. We got to look at bye weeks too to protect ourselves. Pick here is going to be Cooper Kupp. We're going to go back-to-back receivers. We're going to get some receiver depth. And I think next round we're going to go ahead and do defense. I honestly believe that because there's in 18 picks, it should be like pick 95. Like Nelson Agholor's right there, so we can get him out of his value. Maybe a guy like Jordy Nelson, then after that, I don't love anybody. So maybe it's a backup tight end. I think for these next couple picks, we go receiver heavy. Because these are where you can find some gems. Maybe guys are struggling. Maybe you got a tough decision to make. So you can see we got the DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller connection. I'm very happy with that. Where if, Alex Collins is doing good in the flex, we could get him out. We could put Will Fuller in there if he's having a game with Deshaun Watson. Maybe we bench him and he goes off, then we start him the next week and he's just terrible. But it's a decision we'll live with. I think receivers are a lot more valuable down here late in the draft than running backs. That's why I like going receiver heavy this time in the draft. And again, we also got to look at bye weeks. Bye weeks at this time are important because you want to fill out your bench. You're gonna look at the waiver wire for sure, but when you fill out a team, you're also looking at bye weeks because you're saying, I don't want to drop this guy, but there's a better guy available. These are about not only availability, but about guys that are available. We are in round 10. This should end a little bit early, and we might actually end a little bit early today because nobody's watching. And that's okay by me. If nobody's watching, we can end a little bit early. Just going to get my microphone and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and really quickly stop the screen share. Really quickly so I can check my messages. Okay, we're back. Okay, here we go. Agholor's right there, and he just got taken. So we look at the board here. Yeah, there's not a lot of players I love. not Rashard Penny, but Sonny Michel might be worth a flyer, or Keenan Cole, because I think he's their number one receiver now. Your other pick would be Penny. Also could have Sonny Michel. We're going to go ahead. This is the part of the draft where I think you look at flyers. I think you go, let's see. I think we're going to say, okay, give me a backup tight end. Go ahead and give me, I haven't had David Njoku yet, so go ahead and give me David Njoku. I think we're going to say, give me a backup tight end. And because we're around 12, I think I'm going to go ahead and say, give me a defense. And the Ravens are playing the Bills. I think the Ravens will kill. We're going to try to do a streamer defense, maybe, possibly. Give me the Ravens defense. So, okay, I like that. I think now is the point where you start adding depth. I think we got a good defense for this week. Sure, maybe we passed on some running backs, but we got a backup tight end who I really like in David Njoku. Now it's not about looking at the ratings. Now it's about filling out your team needs. See, we don't need a tight end. We have probably room for a running back and a receiver and a kicker. So, there's 4 rounds left. So maybe a running back, a receiver, a kicker, and then the last roster spot is possibly a backup quarterback or another running back or receiver. But I want to make sure I got the defense down. I don't think this team looks too bad. Most of our bye weeks are on weeks 9 or 10, which on our bench, we have Will Fuller as well for bye week number 10, but we can fill him in. We have Cooper Kupp bye week number 12, and we have David Njoku bye week number 11. So we're also looking at bye weeks because pretty much everybody in our West has a bye week 9 or 10. And that's for most of my drafts, by the way, that I've had that. So, like, for week 9, instead of Leonard Fournette, maybe we do, Royce Freeman and or Collins and, Morris. And then for week 10, when Collins is out of flex, maybe we put Hopkins at the flex and add in Will Fuller, something along the lines of that. Or, we put Ilton at the flex. We have a lot of versatility. That's what I like about this team. I don't think we're going to have any problems filling in a lineup situationally. Then, of course, I say that, and then we will end up doing that. But as now this draft is starting to fly, so we just at the top of the hour, by the way. So, yeah, guys, I'm thinking shortened show today. Just on the fly. As on the clock at 1 pick. Pick looks like. Again, looking at players we need. I'm thinking DJ Moore from Carolina as a receiver. As well as Calvin Ridley. I'm thinking, give these guys a shot because I don't know if any of these guys are going to have a good year. I think Aaron Meredith is a good player. There's too many weapons in New Orleans. I'm thinking go ahead and give me DJ Moore from Carolina. He will fill in a receiver spot at number 5. And I really like Calvin Ridley, Courtland Sutton's out there. I'm thinking, here we go again, the Minnesota backfield situation. Go ahead and, I know I've had him in a draft before, same with Cooper Kupp, but along with the bye weeks, because when is Moore's bye week? Moore's bye week is week 4, Ridley's bye week is week 8, we can fill him in, and we got another receiver in Calvin Ridley. So we went 2 receivers that are big names. One could be big names, that's what I'm trying to say. And we have 2 more picks left. So we have 4 receivers on our bench, and Will Fuller, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, and Calvin Ridley. Those are good receivers that are on our bench. We have David Njoku on our bench. We have Alfred Morris on our bench. We right now have Alex Collins in the flex. We could put anybody in the flex if we wanted to. Picks are flying by. We're up in 5 picks. And the pick would basically be Phil Rivers as a backup quarterback, possibly. We also need to try to get a kicker. His defenses are flying off the board. Justin Tucker went. Looks like Steven Sitkowski went. My auto pick right now would be Mike Wallace, another good receiver from my Birds. We do need a kicker. And I'm going to do a little bit on the personal here. I'm going to go with Jake Elliott to kick field goals. And then now we are at our last pick in the draft. Maybe we don't have. Oh, here we are. This is our last pick. Fill out position here. Do we go running back? Take a flyer on a back? Or do we take a flyer on a receiver? Or a quarterback? Take a look. There's a lot of good quarterbacks still left on the board. Like Derek Carr didn't even get drafted. Sam Darnold didn't get drafted. What do we need? I think more than ever we need a back. And I'm thinking, I'm actually going to say Latavius Murray from the Minnesota Vikings. Week 10 bye, which is fine because Royce Freeman has a bye that week, but, Alfred Morris does not. We're probably going to cut him anyways, but that was just a random pick. And that concludes the draft, guys. So we got 5 backs, 6 receivers. We didn't draft a backup quarterback in this league. I think that's something that maybe I overlooked, but I don't know. And there's a lot of good players that Mike Wallace was the last pick in the draft. I'm going to go ahead and share it on Twitter just so then you guys can see. And let me go ahead and get off the screen share here. 1 second. I'll put my camera back on. We have no viewers today, so that's part of my thinking as well, that we may just end this early. And I thank you guys for joining me here on this live fantasy draft. My name is Brandon Lewis, part of Brandon's World. We'll get you guys back on Monday for a great show, guys. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys can join because it's going to be a wonderful show. Peace out.